so starting off at number 10, I think the top 10 QBs here, they're in three tiers. There's three different groups, and this is definitely tier 3 in terms of quarterbacks. I think there's three guys here in tier 3, and starting at number 10, we got Matthew Stafford for the Rams. Stafford is a good quarterback. He is getting up there in age, but he's still early 30s. He's one of the most, people know he's underrated. They know he's underrated, but he's still underrated. Like, he's so good. It's been covered up by the Lions this entire time. I think with the Rams, man, he's gonna look good. They got a good team around him, decent weapons on offense. I think he's gonna go off this year. Maybe 10 is too low, maybe it's too high, who knows, but Stafford's gonna be a top 10 QB this year for sure, or he'll at least be in the ballpark easily. And at 30, I think he's 33, but at 33, I want him. I'd take him on my team. Definitely at number 10. He's still a really good quarterback, extremely underrated. And right below him at number 9 is going to be Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert for the Chargers. This one could be a bit of a reach. Is it an overreaction to his rookie year? Was his rookie year a fluke? He still has a lot to improve on, but he's a good quarterback. And right now, there's only 8 other guys that I would pick ahead of him. I think he's just a solid quarterback. The Chargers were awful. They were awful last year. They just didn't have a great team around him. Horrible coaching. And he still put up some pretty good numbers. So, I don't know. I might regret this one, but I think even if Herbert has a sophomore slump or something, or he just has a down year, maybe I'll regret this pick for this year. But in the future, he's going to be a solid quarterback. He's a good thrower. He's just got a big arm. He's going to be a solid quarterback no matter what. And he's off to a good start. So maybe he goes into a sophomore slump. I don't see him making a big jump in his second year. I don't think he's just going to go from here to here. But I think he's going to be solid. I think he's going to be good. And I really expect that. He still has Keenan Allen over there. So, well, it doesn't matter what the team is. This is obviously, these picks are for if he has an average team around him. But Herbert's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. And I would take him at number 9. Alrighty, and for tier 3 to finish it up at number 8 here. This one, maybe you might disagree with this pick. Maybe you think he should be lower. Ooh, maybe higher. But we got Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just had that MVP season. But to be honest, in my opinion, which means absolutely nothing, I don't think he's ever going to get back to that. He had a really good year, but teams, they're going to figure out how to play him over these years. Obviously, he regressed last year. I wouldn't even say he regressed. I just say teams played him better. His MVP season, that was really the first full year that teams had any film on him. And when you have like a whole off season to really, look at guys and prepare for them better, you can stop them. And with Lamar, he's such a freak athlete. He's always going to be a good runner until he ages. But his throwing is not bad. He can throw. And of course, with the Ravens, they focus on the run. Their main thing is to run with him. They're not out there having him chuck the ball, every play. Their focus is for him to run, but I don't know if that's because of his arm or if it's just because he's such a good runner. I think it's because he's such a good runner. But he needs to get better at throwing, and he's still so young. Was he in his fourth year? He's going into his 4th year. Still very young QB. He's gonna get better at throwing probably, but this year, it'll probably be like he did last year. I don't see him making any big jumps unless he really worked on his throw, but who knows? He's a really good runner, but there's other guys that I would take over him, just because they're better throwers in general, but he's still a really good player. He's still tough to stop in the run, and I'm taking him 7 is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, still a very good quarterback. He's another guy who is slowly getting up there in age. You don't really realize it, but he's still kind of the same player. He's still just as good, but last year they had trouble with their line. They couldn't protect him. He got hit a bunch. Maybe that's the big contract sort of eating up the salary cap. Who knows? But he's still a really good quarterback. I for sure would take him at 7th here. He still can throw. He still run. He's still the same old Russ. He's still Russ Cooks, you know. But I would take him for sure. Maybe you might think he might be a little bit higher, maybe lower. I don't know if anybody would really take him lower. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you could take Lamar Jackson over Russell. I don't know about that though. I mean, Russell's still the same guy, man. He's still a Super Bowl QB. The Seahawks they had no line, but they had the receivers. He had the guys to throw to. He just, he's having a good year, and then he just slowed down a little bit. He's still a really good quarterback. I'm for sure taking him at 7. I mean, there's no reason for me not to, but, man, I don't know what else I gotta say about Russ. He's just a good quarterback. Continuing with tier number 2, at number 6, we got Deshaun Watson. Who knows if this guy even plays this year? There really is no guarantee he even plays, but we're gonna say he does, and I'm taking him. Maybe this isn't the best pick over Russ. Maybe you think Watson should be even higher than number 6, but he's a really good quarterback. He's kind of in the same situation as Russ, but even worse. The Texans were just a bad team. They were just such a bad team. They got rid of Bill O'Brien, and they were kind of in a tanking year. And the messed up thing is they didn't have their first round pick, so it's just the Texans were a mess. The one bright light that they had at all was Deshaun Watson. He's still the same guy, same quarterback, still can throw. Guy's a winner. He just, hasn't quite done it yet at the NFL level. He's still super young as well. He's very mobile, can run. He's just a good quarterback. I gotta put him ahead of Russell Wilson though. I don't know why. Some of these I can't explain why. I just feel, alright? But yeah, Deshaun Watson, still such a good quarterback. I'm taking him at 6. After seeing who's up next in this tier, you might think he should be a little higher, maybe even the same with Russ as well. But he's really good. At number 5, it's time for some controversy. Actually, there's no controversy. You guys might not have this one. You might not have him this high, but I do. I'm a big fan. I think he's gonna be really good. He just keeps getting better and better. He's just a solid quarterback. He's got a huge arm. He's mobile. He can run. It's not even he's got a big arm, and they've made him more accurate. But he's also just he can run. He honestly can kind of run like Russell and Deshaun. Yeah, you guessed it. Josh Allen. I'm on the Josh Allen train. I'm hype. I think he's good. I mean, in the age of, mobile quarterbacks with big arms, Josh Allen, he came into the league. They're like, hey, this guy's got a big arm and he can move a little bit. This is what we want. Well, this guy, man, they fixed some of his accuracy issues. He still has his big arm and he can run. He can straight up run. It's not even that he's just a mobile quarterback. The guy can move. So Josh Allen is my number 5, man. Josh Allen is my number 5. I think he's a good quarterback. The Bills, they had a good team around him. They got a good coaching staff. So it's no surprise they got to the AFC Championship. I thought that was well deserved. But a lot of it, man, I'm telling you, it was Josh Allen, and I think he's just gonna keep getting better and better. He really does improve every year. I'm on the Josh Allen hype train for sure. Maybe this is too early. Maybe number 5 is too high. Maybe you don't have him above the guys I already went over. But I got him at number 5. Number shouldn't be a surprise because he is this good. He's the last of the tier 2s. He's number 4. He plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott. He's a good quarterback, man. He is a good quarterback. Guy's got an arm. Pretty accurate. And, I mean, people kind of forget. Like, he got injured so early in the season. Last year in 2020. The guy was going off. The guy was on fire. The guy was... Man, he looked good. He had the MVP locked up in week 4. The guy was just putting up numbers, making plays. Now they do have some weapons in Dallas that helped him out, but Dak, man, he's kind of gotten forgotten just because just the injury and just the whole contract situation. But the thing is, he's kind of worth it. He's the 4th best quarterback in my opinion. I think he's going to come back, have a solid year. I don't know how his rehab is coming along, though. I actually don't know anything. But he's healed. He's going to be good for the next season, I believe. So I expect him to go off again, for sure. But Dak Prescott, man. Dak is a really good quarterback. The guy's just a gamer. The guy's a gamer, man. He just makes plays. He's one of those guys, man. He just goes out there and he makes plays. And I don't know. Maybe the guy never wins a Super Bowl, but I'm taking him over the other guys. I think he has a better chance than all them if you put him on an average team. We're now going to enter tier number 1. 3 guys are in this tier. We're going to finish off our top 10 with our top 3 right here. Starting at number 3. I wish I was holding a different helmet. I really wish I was holding a different helmet, but Tom Brady. Honestly, maybe I'm a jerk for putting him at number 3 and not number 1, but no, he's number 3. Even at his age, he's still a really good quarterback. The Buccaneers, they had a ton of weapons. Like I said, this is hypothetical. This is who's gonna be the best on just an average team across the board. Who's gonna get me the furthest? And Brady, he's still got it. He's still a winner. But on an average team, he's going to take him far. But he's not the best. He's number 3. He is certainly number 3. And I love him. And I want him to come back. But, but yeah, he's still got it. He's still got it even at his age. We'll see. He hasn't really declined. If anything, last year, he just took some time to get adjusted to the offense and just a whole new system. It wasn't really anything with his age or his play. Maybe at some points it was, but man, he's coming back. The Buccaneers are going to be good again, but I think he's still solid, even at his age. And at number 2, we have Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, maybe you might be able to guess who number 1 is at this point, but number 2, Aaron Rodgers. This guy, man, honestly, he's a gamer too, man. He's a gamer. He's a baller. He just throws dimes, man. He's just so good. He's got a crazy good arm. He's mobile. He's a good quarterback, man. Aaron Rodgers is mad good. I'm gonna be Team Brady till my death. All right, he's better than Rodgers, but I can't lie, man. Rodgers is so good too, man. Like, it's close. The only reason Brady is like a sure thing ahead of Rodgers is just because he's got mad Super Bowls, man. He carries teams. He's just like, if they had the same amount of Super Bowls, guaranteed Rodgers would probably get the nod from most people. He already does get the nod as like being a better quarterback than Brady overall. But man, Rodgers, the guy's just a baller. He's just such a good quarterback. I love watching his interviews on Pat McAfee's show too. He's just seems like a chill dude. Those are the best kind of athletes, athletes that were, the pretty good players for most of their careers, and then as they get older, they're just really mature, and they get more humble, and just Rodgers is one of those guys who's just kind of like, he's settled in, he really is. But yeah, that's Rodgers. He's our number 2. And at number 1, you probably guessed it. Patty Mahomes, baby, for the Chiefs. Mahomes, he really is something. He's incredible. He's just a really good quarterback. It's kind of nuts, man. He's so dynamic. You know, you've had quarterbacks in the past that are just like, oh, they can run, they can pass. You know, oh, the dual threat QB, like Mahomes, man. He's just so dynamic. He just takes it to like a whole nother level. He's not really a runner. He can make plays with his feet. He's very mobile, but he's not a runner. He's so dynamic with how he plays, though, in his throws. And the Super Bowl, man. The Super Bowl was honestly, if you were to ask me to, like, show you one game that describes Patrick Mahomes, I would show you the Super Bowl. Even though he didn't play, the team didn't play well, they got killed. Mahomes is out there getting rushed. His line is garbage. Mahomes, they're storming him on every play. The guy's running around in the pocket, just chucking the ball around. He is chucking the ball all over the place and finding receivers, and they just kept dropping him. But some of his throws were just insane. You just don't see stuff like that very often, and he's just a crazy good player. It's kind of nuts. He's easily number one. Rodgers fans may not like that one, but maybe Rodgers, I wouldn't say he's regressed a little bit, but he's had better years. He's been better in the past. Maybe then I would take him over Mahomes, but right now Mahomes is just the most dynamic player, maybe not player, but dynamic quarterback in the league, and he just wins. He's a winner. He just wins. So I would take Mahomes number one. Alright, that concludes our top 10. Now, let's get to the rest of the list. There may be some guys missing from my top 10 that you're like, oh boy, what are you doing? Hopefully they show up here and they're not too far down on the list for you to get upset. But some of these may be reaches. Honestly, all this stuff is just my opinion. It's just who I would take on an average team. And at number 11, I'm taking Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, he's a player. He's a gamer. He's a baller. He just goes out there. He's a competitor. He just plays, man. He goes hard. He's just one of those guys that has that it factor about him. The difference between him and some of the other guys in the top 10 that are kind of similar style players, he has a good arm, but it's just not top tier yet. He's kind of mobile, not super mobile. He can run a little bit. He's kind of mobile, but not top tier. But he's just such a gamer and such a competitor that I gotta put him at 11, man. If I have an average team, I believe in him. I think he's gonna pull up and carry the team a little bit. He's just a competitive guy. That's one of the things I like about him. And he's gonna be one of those guys like early in his career and in college, kind of a loudmouth, kind of annoying. But as he matures and just gets better as a player, I think people are gonna love him eventually. They already love him in Cleveland. He's really turned it around there with Kevin Stefanski. But I gotta go with Baker at number 11. At number 12, you might think this guy should have been top 10. Honestly, if you say that, I can't argue with you. He's a really good quarterback. He's pretty raw right now. He's just a raw talent, but he's getting better and better. Former number 1 overall pick, Kyler Murray for the Cardinals. He's my number 12. He is my number 12. He's just, like I said, he's a raw talent. He's got a good arm. He's super fast, dude. And his legs are just so short, but he's so fast, man. He'll be out there just, oh my god, you gotta just watch this guy's legs when he gets full speed. They just fly. It's insane. But he's still a raw talent. He's very young. He's gonna keep getting better and better. I question some of his decision making. Doesn't always make the best throw. I've seen some iffy plays out of him, but he's still young. He's still really good. He's gonna get better and better. If I did this again next year, if I don't have him in the top 10, I'd be shocked. I just think he's gonna keep getting better and better. Right now, I just have him at 12. I I have him sitting at 12. So, still a solid player. At number 13, some of these, you might be surprised by some of these. Some of these may just be out of order in your opinion, but at number 13, I got Ryan Tannehill. I got Tannehill at 13. He's one of those guys. He's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. He's a game manager. He's not gonna necessarily win you games, but he's not gonna lose them for you. He's a game manager. He's just one of those guys where you put some nice pieces out there with him. He's gonna carry the load. And honestly, they have it perfect in Tennessee. They have a great team. They have a great setup for Tannehill. They have Derrick Henry. They focus on the run. That's their main thing. And then when they got a pass man, they got A.J. Brown out there. It's kind of perfect for them. They really do have it going well, but maybe that's Tannehill's ceiling. I don't know if they could put a better team around him, to be honest. But Tannehill is a manager. He's a game manager. He's just gonna, I don't know how to describe it, but he's just a solid quarterback. He's gonna take an average team and he's gonna do some damage. He really is. He's just solid. At 14, we got Matt Ryan. Maybe I'm in disbelief. I like Matt Ryan, but he has started to regress a little bit. Just ever since that MVP season, he's never been the same. But maybe 14's a little too high for him. Maybe I didn't see the Falcons play enough this year. But Matt Ryan, he's still got the arm. He's still a good player. He's still a solid quarterback for sure. I think he's 14th. He's getting up there in age. He is getting up there. We might start seeing him regress more and more. It's hard to tell because the Falcons team, the team they had last year, was just so bad. So it's hard to really make a judgment. But I still think Ryan's solid. You give him an average team across the board, he's going to make some plays. He's going to be good for him. So I got him at 14. Up next at 15, maybe this one could be a reach as well. It might be another one where I'm just reaching a little too far because maybe we didn't quite see enough from him. But I got to go with Joey Burrow. Joseph Burrow. Joe Burrow, baby. I forget which week he got injured. It was halfway through the season. And even when he did play, they just were not winning games. But when he didn't play, they looked awful. When he did play, their team was awful. He was the one kind of bright light. He wasn't amazing. He wasn't putting up major numbers like maybe Herbert was. But Burrow, he was just showing those flashes where it's like, yeah, this is the guy. This is their quarterback of the future. And I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I think he's just going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he'll be solid. I think he'll be right up there with Herbert. But we'll see. Maybe I'm ranking him too high for this upcoming season. Maybe he's just quite not there yet, especially coming off an injury. But I got him at 15. At 16, we got Derek Carr. I'm not a big Derek Carr fan. I like Derek Carr. I'm definitely on the Derek Carr train. There are people, man. There are people I can tell they have never seen this guy play because he's had some good years for the Raiders. It was really only in that 1 year where they made the playoffs and he got hurt for it, but he's a good quarterback. There's some casuals out there that were like, oh, Mariota should start over him. Mariota came in for that one game and played kind of well, not that great, but the only reason he played well is because they didn't game plan for him. They were not planning for Mariota. When teams can game plan for Mariota, he looks like trash. That's why Tennessee gave up on him. So, but Derek Carr, I don't know, people kind of think his time's running out for the Raiders, but I don't know. We'll see what Gruden wants to do. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's going to have a good year, better than last year for sure. He was solid last year. Once again, it was just the Raiders team. They just weren't that good, and he doesn't have any weapons really. Honestly, Darren Waller was the only guy he could throw to, or just dump it to Jacobs in the backfield. But Derek Carr, still a very good quarterback. For sure have him at 16, but we'll see. Maybe he drops off this year, and I'll lose my faith in him, but I still have it. I forget what number we're at, but up next, Kirk Cousins. This one, I feel a little weird about this one. Part of me thinks he should be higher, but I don't know. It's hard to say with him. Sometimes he's just so inconsistent. He'll just have good games, and he'll just have bad ones. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Kirk Cousins, to be honest. Let's just leave it at that. I still think he's a really good quarterback. He's an NFL quarterback. Is he overpaid? Not really. Not really. At first he was, but now that other quarterbacks are getting big deals, I think his contract is just fine. But he's a solid quarterback. I don't know what to think about him, because I was high on him for a little while, but he just, after the last year, I don't know. I think he went down a little bit. He has weapons to throw to. He had Thielen and Jefferson. He's got good players around him. Dalvin Cook in the run game. I think Cousins is the problem on that offense, honestly. But he's still a good quarterback. Up next, I don't know what number we're at, but Jalen Hurts. It's interesting. Carson Wentz, he regressed. Just wasn't working with him anymore. And the Eagles, man, they draft Jalen Hurts in the second round. That looked like a bad pick at the time. It was like, come on, like, what do you guys just gave Wentz this big deal the other year. Like, are you really getting a quarterback in the second round? Worked out pretty well. They liked Jalen Hurts. They liked him a lot. Wentz wasn't playing well. They said, screw it, we're going to let Hurts in. We're going to play Hurts. And they like what they see. I like what I see. I think this is a pretty high ranking for him for only playing, what was it, maybe half a season, maybe a little more than that, but he showed some flashes. We'll see what he can do. I think he's solid. I liked him in college, for sure, but yeah, Jalen Hurts, solid QB. This is still weird, but announcing Jared Goff with the Lions helmet is a little weird. The Stafford one didn't feel as weird as this one does. But yeah, Jared Goff is who I got lined up after Jalen Hurts here. And Goff, man, it looks like the Ravens or the Rams they gave up on him. It just wasn't working anymore. But maybe he blew the Super Bowl for him as well. It's just, I don't know. It's tough to say, hey, this guy should not have gotten moved. I think it was the right move, but I think he's going to go to the Lions. He's going to play pretty well. I think he's going to be a teens-ranked quarterback, which is where I have him. I still think he's solid. I think he's all right. I know he's not super good, or maybe worth, what was he? Was he a third pick? Was he or second? Was he first or second? Oh my God, I don't remember. Was Wentz one? Who was one? I can't remember. But yeah, he was the first pick, right? Yeah. Oh my God, I've been doing this video for too long. I can only think of so much stuff right now. But yeah, I still think Goff is gonna be good. I still think he'll be all right. He's still pretty young. We'll see what the Lions do with him. All right, this is an interesting pick because I didn't include rookies, and I also didn't make the list long enough to include quarterbacks that are already on teams that are probably going to draft a rookie quarterback. So the fact that I have the 49ers here for Jimmy G is interesting because they are going to draft a quarterback. You don't trade up to number 3. You don't give up all those first-round picks to not get your franchise quarterback. So they're going to get a quarterback. But Jimmy G, he's still solid. He's still a solid quarterback. He's kind of like a better version of Goff. They both were on good teams. They made it to the Super Bowl. They had good coaches. They may or may not have been the blame for winning or for losing. But Jimmy G, honestly, I might regret putting him behind Goff because in a way, I'm ranking him behind Goff, but I think he's better than Goff. That doesn't make any sense, but it's so uncertain with him. Also, he's so injury prone. He's just so injury prone, even worse than Goff is. So it's just like, can this guy finish the season? I mean, the one time that he does finish the season, they get to the Super Bowl, then he kind of chokes it, or did Shanahan blow it? Who knows? But I like Jimmy G. Honestly, this rating might be with his injuries is he always gets hurt when he's trying to make a play. Like when he's trying to extend a play or something, that's when he gets hurt. They got to teach him to just throw the ball away or to get down, honestly. But I think he's still really good. He's overpaid right now, but he's a good quarterback. I think he could be higher than this easily. Up next, I got Big Ben. Honestly, I don't feel good about this rating. I don't know how good Big Ben is right now. He's just so old. And last year, he had so many weapons around him. And the Steelers' defense was super good, so obviously they had a really good record. Honestly, Ben was the guy holding them back. I think he was the one holding them back. Because he had so many weapons. And I don't know. I just think he's getting up there. He's old. He's had a really good career, but I think this is his last year for sure. Big Ben, he maybe should even be lower than this, honestly. There's some guys that are coming up next that I'm kind of regretting this pick right now, but I'm going to stick with it. Maybe the next two guys should probably be ahead of him, but who knows. I'm giving Ben the benefit of the doubt right now, because the NFL gave him the benefit of the doubt before, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we'll see. Up next is who we were talking about a little earlier, Carson Wentz. This could be a low rating. Honestly, I might regret this one. I think he's going to bounce back a little bit in Indianapolis. They got a good team around him. He's still a decent quarterback. Even he's had trouble with mechanics. Yeah, I know. I get that. But who knows? He's still young. He's still a solid quarterback. He was once that MVP caliber quarterback. I think he's going to bounce back with the Colts. I still think he's solid. Maybe this rating is too low. Who knows? But this is where I got him. I still think he's going to be alright, though. Up next, we have Tua Tagovailoa. Yes, that is correct. Look at that. I said his name correct. Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, I've known that guy since he was a freshman at Alabama. I've known of him, since the championship game, obviously. And just last year, I finally started to say his last name correctly. So, only took 3 years. Not bad. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's an interesting last name. It's weird to say, but you do kind of just say it how it looks, Tagovailoa. So, yeah, Tua. It's tough to say, man. It's tough to say. He had such a weird rookie season. It's tough to say. It's tough to figure out what's up with this guy. I'm not calling him a bust yet. He's not a bust yet. There's people out there that are like, oh my god, this guy's a bust already. Flores didn't trust him all year. But maybe it was Chan Gailey to blame a little bit. They got rid of him. New coordinator now. But Tua, not a bust. You can't say he's a bust after 1 year. I always kind of looked at him as, he's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of talent. But he's more of a project. He was drafted 5th, obviously, before Herbert, after Burrow. But I saw him as more of a project from those two. I thought Herbert was more of a project as well. So that's kind of funny. But I thought Burrow was the only one that was kind of like ready to at least start games. Maybe not win quite yet, but I think Tua's a bit of a project. I think he'll step it up a little bit in this second year. But I think it's going to be a few years before he's really, their guy. They're the guy there. But I definitely think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league eventually. He's shown good flashes, but he's shown some bad flashes. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I rated him too low. I don't know, but I do have him ahead of our next guy. And maybe this one's a mistake, but he is one ahead of Daniel Jones, and I like Daniel Jones. Decent thrower. He's mobile. He's got wheels. He just, he trips sometimes, but I like Daniel Jones. It's just, he's the same as Tua in a way. I just see him as more of a project quarterback. It's going to take him a few years to really be something. It's tough to say. Joe Judge seems to be the good coach. He had a good year for the Giants, they seem to like him. They're building a better culture, but Dan Jones, he's solid. He's okay. He's not solid. He's okay. He's all right. He's pretty low on the list here, obviously, but I think he's gonna get better. I think he's a project. Right now, he's just not gonna win on an average team. Up next, we have Drew Lock. Drew Lock showed some promise in his rookie season when they put him in at the end of the year, but didn't look too great last year. He had some young receivers, just young guys on the offense in general. It's hard to judge him right now. It's just we'll see what he does this year. But didn't like what I saw last year, and they still beat the Patriots. Oh my God, I hated watching that game, but he could be good. He's kind of like Daniel Jones. The potential's there. The game is there, but will he ever turn it up? Does he need a better team to be on? Who knows? But on an average team, he's not getting too many dubs. And up next, and probably the last one on the list, because the rest of the teams, well, I'll talk about that in a second, but Cam Newton, it hurts me to put him this low, but, I mean, think about it. I mean, oh my God, this video is so long, man, I am struggling to talk right now, but, the Patriots, they put a pretty good squad around him. Maybe not an elite squad, but they signed a bunch of guys in free agency. Belichick's there. He's gonna be good. McDaniel's running the offense. They got a good group around Cam. So I think the Patriots could be a playoff team. Maybe they're 9-7. Actually 9-8. 8-7 with the extra game. The team's gonna be good. But Cam, you put him on an average team across the board. On an average team. He's going to be pretty low on this list, as you see, which hurts me to say. I do believe in him for the season. I think he's going to be better than he was last year this season, but to pick him over any of the other guys I kind of went over, I can't do that. I just don't know what to expect from him. I do think he'll be better. I want him to be better, but I can't pick him over some of these other guys. So there's about 6 other quarterbacks to make it a full 32, but a lot of these teams are either these 6 spots, they're either drafting a rookie, possibly, or they are just kind of getting a fill-in player. I mean, the Jets probably drafting a QB. We don't know where Donald's going. Bears, looks like they're running it with Andy Dalton. He's at the bottom of this list. Saints, Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. I don't think either of those guys is the man. Panthers, what are they doing? What the heck are the Panthers doing, man? Are they running it back with Teddy? Like, what the heck is going on there? Jaguars, they're going to get Trevor Lawrence, T-Law, and the Redskins. What the heck are the Redskins doing? Is it Enke? Or Heineke? And who else did they sign? They brought in some competition for him. I just can't think of it because I've been filming this video for a super long time, and I have about lost it up here. But, yeah. I don't even know who the heck else is going to be in this ranking from the rest of these teams. If I did include some of them, they would just be at the bottom here. Like I said, Dalton, Taysom Hill, all those guys. But that's going to be it for these rankings. Let me know what you got. If you watch this far, you got to let me know if you watch this far, because this is insanely far in the video. And hopefully it means you enjoyed. Let me know your rankings. Give me your top 5, top 10. Maybe not your top 20. That's a lot to think about, but just give me your top 10, top 5 quarterbacks. Let me know what you agree with, disagree with. Obviously, it's all just my opinion, but thank you guys so much for watching.